am Shantel Knight, aka ZombieBitMe. I've been doing cosplay for about 3 years professionally now, and I'm a pretty big nerd, I guess. I love my video games and comics and anime. Collect a lot of toys.
So what was your inspiration to start doing this?
Well, I've always been into dressing up, definitely, and I actually just started out doing regular modeling. Back in probably 2009, I met ZombieBitMe on Twitter, and she definitely, even inspired me more so than what I was doing. So by the time I got to move to the city, I got to go to the conventions that I've been dying to go to, and now I'm here.
So who's your cosplay hero?
Definitely Linda Lee. Definitely.
And so how else did she help you get involved into this more?
Well, just basically, talking back and forth and understanding see, I didn't know what it was called back then. I just dressed up for the hell of it. But I don't know, just seeing how crazy her pictures turned out, and how awesome her costumes were and how she did them, and it was I definitely wanted to try doing it more and more, and I ended up loving it.
And so far since you've been doing this, what's been your favorite costume?
So far, my Skyrim costume, which I built last year for Fan Expo, and it's got a lot of great hits too.
That's good. And have you had any costumes that you didn't think turned out as well as you had hoped?
Definitely. Starting out doing costumes, there was a few that I didn't sew at all because I didn't know what I was doing. So I kind of makeshifted things together. And then the first costume, which was my Phoenix one that I actually sewed fully, it turned out terrible, and I would love to redo it, but I just haven't had the time.
And so with your costumes, do you have running themes, or do you just draw upon anything, that you enjoy? Or
I love doing characters that somehow resemble me in a way. I like either really dark characters that are very strong as well. But I also like, some cute characters who just have a really big heart. So I feel like I can be a mix of both of those.
So what's next on the horizon for characters, or is that a secret?
I have a huge list that I would love to accomplish. I do have a Lara Croft one in the making. Not the new version. It is actually, I'm doing a Legend version. And I have that, and I have a few other things for Anime North coming up. Some people have heard that I am doing the anime version of Witchblade, and I do have a sneak peek already posted of my Sailor Moon mixed with my own character, Zombie.
And so you actually set up in advance what you want to do? It's not do you ever change your mind when you go to a convention and get some ideas from other customers?
I can't say I've ever changed my mind that last minute. I do love what I end up wearing to the cons. I plan things for cons specifically. But definitely when I go there and I see these amazing costumes done by other people, I definitely get ideas of what to do next and how to do things, and I definitely learn from other people.
So do you do all of the sewing yourself, or do you outsource any of it to other people?
Sometimes I do, for my Deadpool, I did buy the red bodysuit and basically took it apart and redid it at the same time. So I do some things like that. My mom helps sew some things for me when I have so many things on the go, and I'll just be like, can you help me with this just for a minute? But that's about it.
What's your dream costume if logistics and money were no object? What would it be?
Oh boy. All right. Well, my dream costume um, is definitely a very pricey one because it would be all in leather and all the leather would be tooled. Um, I really want to do Cinder from Spyro. Um, and I basically drew out how I want this to look, and it's just insane. I don't know if I could ever describe it, but I definitely hope I can do that.
And so, what are your short-term and long-term plans as far as the costuming goes?
I really am aiming to turn this into a career, and it's starting to head that way. After 3 years, I think I've gotten really far, and I just hope to keep pursuing this and end up, going to the state conventions and other places around the world, and I love it so much.
And how about this short term? What conventions do you have coming up that people can come meet you at?
Well, next weekend, or this weekend coming up, I guess, I will be at the Burlington Toy Con, which is the second time I've been there, and I'm really happy to be welcomed back. It was a lot of fun last year, and I have a few people that I know who have been asking me if I was going, and I'm pretty excited to see them again. After that, I have the Fun Expo, which is a charity expo. I've been there once, but that was way before I started any of this. But I'm pretty happy that they're having me there as well. Then I have the Anime North. I won't be working there or having a booth or anything, but I do love going and seeing everyone and just hanging out and goofing off. And then I have the Niagara Falls Comic Con, of course, which I also am the cosplay coordinator for that. I'm pretty excited to be seeing some of the cosplay guests that I have coming there. Some are old friends and some I will just be meeting, but I am still super excited because I was also a fan of that guest too, which I don't know if you've heard, but I do have Leanna Vamp coming.
That's cool. And so how come you haven't, made it into the States yet?
Funds. No funds at all. It's pretty costly, and I'm not as well known in the States as I am here in Canada, so.
So in the cosplay community, is it a more tight-knit thing, like people are friendly, or is there some infighting and cattiness involved?
There is definitely both. I know so many people who are amazing and will welcome anybody and help anybody and just love other cosplayers, and we just all group up and have a lot of fun at conventions. And then there's some other people who are very competitive and like to be in the spotlight and can be really rude.
What's been your best moment so far of doing this?
Probably either the traveling or being able to have met all the people that I have met, and they are so amazing, and I love talking to them. They're funny. We have so much in common. I mean, I wouldn't have met them if I was still out in the country doing nothing.
So, when, as far as like young girls that go to conventions, do you see yourself as like a role model, or do you see, or, how do you see yourself in their eyes?
I've never thought about that because I still consider myself young, but I guess I'm getting old. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've hung out with the 501st so many times, and like I've worked for Pulp Comics and been a cosplay person for them, where there's always kids around. So I'm just used to hanging out with them, I guess.
And how do you respond to people that claim that would say like what you're doing is derogatory to women or sexist because of the sexiness of the costumes? Do you agree with them, or do you think what you're doing is something different?
Um, well, I mean, there are some people who go a little overboard with the no clothing thing in costumes. I like to keep my costumes, covering most of everything. Um, there are some skimpy costumes out there, which I have done Felicia, for instance. Uh, it's kind of a borderline thing because a lot of people say it's like a fetish thing, and it's definitely not a fetish thing for me. Um, I don't know. That's just kind of weird. But I guess that each to their own. However you view it is how you view it, and you can't change someone's opinion if they're that strong about it.
Um, so, what separates you from other cosplayers, do you think?
Um, I don't know. I like to think that I'm kind of awesome. Nah. Um, I think that I could possibly be separated because I've noticed a lot of people with over 1,000 followers will be like, or like people saying that I have over 1,000 followers. They're surprised that I answer them, and I like to try and answer everyone. And apparently, not everybody can get answered from other cosplayers that have a lot of fans or viewers or however you put that. And so I guess I like to separate myself by keeping in touch with everybody.
And is there anything else you want to talk about or add or tell people about you or
Um, go check out my website. I do reviews on video games and always have costume updates and my con schedules. And yep.
you want to give us the name of the site?
www.zombiebitme.